Great job by George Richards, Florida Hockey Now. And like I told you, nobody covers the Panthers better or longer than my guy George Richards right there. Huge game tonight. Need a big effort from the Panthers tonight. A big effort. I'll sleep well, all right? I know I'm going to sleep already because I got my sheets and giggles, but I need the Panthers to get 2 points tonight. I need a Heat victory, and then I sleep like a baby. That's right. I got my eucalyptus comforter. I got the bedding. I got my eucalyptus pillow, all courtesy of one of our newest sponsors here on ZASLOW Show 2.0, Sheets and Giggles. That's right. Ultracool and sustainable eucalyptus bedding. ZASLOW family, now we're four of over 100,000 Americans who are sleeping soundly on Sheets and Giggles, famous eco-friendly Eucalyptus Lyocell bedding. Sheets and Giggles, sheetsgiggles.com, sheetsgiggles.com/ZASLOW. Use my promo code ZASLOW and you'll get 20% off your first order. That's a great discount that my man Colin, he's the founder and CEO of Sheets and Giggles. That's a great discount he's providing everybody. And I'm telling you, I already have a few listeners who've gotten them. They go, ZASLOW, I heard about Sheets and Giggles on the Levitard show, and now they're on your show, so I decided, went on there, I used your promo code, I got 20% off, I got the Sheets and Giggles, I'm sleeping like a baby. I'm like, I know, that's what I've been telling you. I can't get over that comforter. It's the best comforter I've ever had. I sleep so well. So also, hey, super environmentally friendly. We're talking 30% less energy used than cotton sheets, 96% less water than some cotton sheets. So my man Colin and Sheets and Giggles, they care about the environment. That's obviously a good thing. Hypoallergenic, zero static, all that good stuff. But you guys know, I've been telling you for a while now. Sheets and Giggles, so soft, so cool, so breathable. That comforter, it's heavy, but it's not, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Sheets and Giggles, sheetsgiggles.com. So, I'm watching the Marlins yesterday, and they suck, man. But it's not just that they suck. They're a freaking bore. So they're 1-4 now after losing, 11-1 to the Twins last night. 1-4. The only game they won I was at. Good luck. But I can't go down there every series. I can't do it. 1-4 last night. Okay, and here's the first thing I noticed. Number one, I know Johnny Cueto had a good year last year and has had a really good career. Okay. And Johnny Cueto got hurt. I think it was in the first inning. Johnny Cueto got hurt early in the game, did not return. Now the bullpen's going to be a disaster. And we're just in the 5th game of the year, and we already have a position player who's out there pitching. That's right. Jacob Stallings was out there pitching in the 8th inning, gave up a home run. He's throwing eephus pitches, all right? So already 5 games into the season, we got position players who are on the mound. But even before Johnny Cueto got hurt, we're rolling Johnny Cueto out there. Here's the thing. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm some kind of expert when it comes to the Marlins prospects and Marlins farm system. But one thing we hear every single year, pitching, how great the Marlins pitching is, how great the young pitching is. And we're rolling Johnny Cueto out there as our 5th starter? Like, really? Every year, nonstop, we just hear about pitching, and we're still throwing Johnny Cuetos out there in the rotation. And then you look at the rest of it, and they can't score. What is it? 9 runs. 9 runs in 5 games. They are a freaking bore. They do not hit. They can't score. And here's the thing. And we know Kimming sucks. She sucks. And the owner sucks too. Bruce Sherman's a garbage owner. I'm telling you, go back and look at the way this team played when Loria was the owner. Specifically like the first 10 years of Loria's ownership. It obviously got really bad like the last 4. But you go look at the first 10 years that Jeffrey Loria owned this team. Yes, they obviously won a World Series, competitive every single year. Every year. Are we in year 6 now with Sherman? 5 or 6? Does anyone actually think this team is in better shape right now than they were the day that Bruce Sherman bought the team? They're not in better shape. Seems terrible. They're unwatchable. We're 5 games into the season, and everybody knows that the season's done. They're never going to be in it. And they're a brutal watch. 5, 6 years, whatever it is into this Bruce Sherman, he's awful. He's a horrendous owner. The GM sucks. Even, you look at the one trade that they made going into this season for Luis Arias, who's been great so far. Here's the thing. It's not a good trade. Luis Arias, he's a slap hitter. He's a singles hitter. He's going to get on base a ton. And guess what? No one's going to hit him in because this offense sucks. Luis Arias right now is hitting like 500, all right? He's got 11 hits so far on the season. You know how many runs he scored? Actually, he's got 11 hits, but he's been on base 12 times. He has a walk. So Luis Arias has been on the base 12 times. He scored 2 runs. It's not a good trade. Like, that's not the kind of player that the Marlins needed. He's going to get on base with singles, and no one's going to hit him in. And look, like I said, I'm not an expert. But I do know that every year, it seems, the Marlins have players playing positions that they've never played before. Why do we have so many guys playing positions they've never played? Jazz Chisholm in center field so far looks like a disaster. He wasn't a very good defensive second baseman. Now, I think short's his normal position, but he has not looked good in center field. Gene Segura, I don't believe has ever played third base before this year. He's naturally a second baseman. Why every year do we have got, and they can't seem to find a position for Jesus Sanchez. Why do we have so many guys playing positions they've never played before? And here's also the thing, look, Jazz is fun, man. He's probably, Luis Arias is probably the best player on the team, but if you want to say Jazz is the best player, okay, fine. But here's the thing. I had someone send me a message on Twitter yesterday just about, Jazz is a superstar. No, he's not. Not even close. He's a career 250 hitter. His on base is 304 for his career. It's below average. Forget superstar. And yeah, he hits home runs. He's got power. And that's what makes him a good player. Because despite the low average and the really low on base percentage, he hits for enough power that he's overall a net positive. But Jazz Chisholm is not a star player. Not even close. Eventually, maybe, potential, okay. Not a star player. Not even close. And it's amazing. 5 games in, man, and this team is unwatchable. 9 runs? And I think they've given up, 29 maybe? 9, 29? Does that sound right? Minus 20 run differential in 5 games? Yeah. Brutal. His owner sucks. And I know he said that he's not selling the team anytime soon. We can only hope. He's worse than Loria. He is. Awful. That you cannot tell anyone with a straight face that this team is in better position right now than they were when he bought the team. Because they're not, and you're a liar if you say that. Terrible. Anyway. Had to get a little bit off my chest there as far as the Marlins go. I'll tell you what else was not good last night. I don't want to do a lot of complaining, all right? Because I'm very into this Panther game tonight. The Heat game is not so important. They're in Detroit. It's looking like Bam is going to be able to give it a go. They got enough distance between them and number 8 Atlanta and too much distance between them and number 6 Brooklyn. The Heat are stuck in that 7 spot. Still, obviously, game's important. Not that important, but it's important. Panther game tonight's a monster. Very huge. You heard there with George. 8 out of 10 points, probably what you need to finish here, these final 5 games of the season. So, I feel so dumb because WrestleMania weekend was amazing. Amazing. I'm telling you here, nobody does entertainment like WWE. What a show. That's true. And then you get the news yesterday. Endeavor has bought WWE. WWE and UFC are now under the same company. Endeavor owns 51% of both. Shareholders own 49%. Vince McMahon and Ari Emanuel were on CNBC yesterday announcing it's a done deal. And then you get the rumors which have kind of been out there, but now officially Vince McMahon is back to being the chief executive, while Triple H is still chief content officer. What that means is that Triple H is still in charge of creative, the stories. And that's been the case for like the last 8 months. And guess what? WWE for the last 8 months since Triple H took over, on fire. On fire. Phenomenal. So it goes to show, needed Vince out of there, out of touch. Needed new blood with Triple H. It's been amazing. And there have been rumors now that Vince is going to be back involved. Maybe heavily. Well, he said on CNBC yesterday that he is going to be involved big picture with creative, but not, his words, in the weeds. Now, you never know what to believe when it comes to the wrestling media. You never know. All kinds of reports that Vince, very involved with Monday Night Raw last night. And I'll tell you, in the middle of that show, and Raw after Mania is a major, major show. It's the biggest Raw of the year. Swerves, surprises. It's essentially the season opener. Season premiere. And in the middle of the show last night, I mean, I had to take to Twitter. And I had to say, and I'm never overly critical of WWE. I don't understand that, the guys, the wrestling guys who, they just, they don't even like wrestling. They just bitch and moan every single week about how much it sucks. They don't even like it. Don't watch a show that you hate every single week. So I don't understand that attitude. I've never liked that. But I got to tell you, last night's Raw stunk. That was not a good show. That was a bad show. And if these rumors are true that Vince was very involved last night was a very ominous sign for the future of WWE. That was a bad show. And Raw after Mania is supposed to be the best show. That show stunk. I don't know any other way around it. And at least you had something surprising at the very end with Brock and Cody. Although, we don't know why. That's okay. Maybe, I hope we'll find out why. But I guess at least we had something surprise us. That show was bad last night. No call-ups from NXT. No real surprise returns. Don't give me Riddle. I mean, it's not that big a deal. Segments that didn't make sense. Where was Bayley? Kind of a bait and switch with the Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar are both going to fight in the main event. It's kind of a bait and switch we ended up getting. That show last night was bad. I think it's a bad sign for WWE moving forward. I'm very upset about that. Very upset about that. We'll see where it goes. But I do not have a good feeling. Tell you what I do have a good feeling, though, about. Let's do big deal or not a big deal. That's right. Big deal or not a big deal. Every show, we make sure we get everything in, all the big stories that we weren't able to get around to earlier. Hey, are you dealing with water, mold, or fire damage in your home or your business? Is that a big deal? Maybe it's not a big deal. I don't know. But Water Cleanup of Florida, they're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to tell you if it is a big deal. You got to call them or text them when you notice something. 954-900-8635. Call or text 954-900-8635. Water Cleanup of Florida will tell you if that's a big deal or not a big deal. Big deal or not a big deal. So the Anthony Rendon from the Los Angeles Angels, you may have saw the video last week where he claims a fan called him a bitch. He grabbed the fan by the shirt, took a swipe at his hat, and missed. A lot of jokes out there about Anthony Rendon swinging and missing. He's been a big disappointment after signing that massive contract with the Angels. 5-game suspension. It was reduced to 4. He began serving it last night. I'm going to go big deal. You can't behave that way. Apparently, he and the fan then spoke on the phone. They both apologized, that whole deal. I certainly don't like the fan calling the player a bitch. I'll never understand fan behavior like that. But also, if you're Anthony Rendon, you cannot react that way. I know Anthony Rendon has heard worse. He has to have heard worse. You cannot behave that way. So that's a big deal. Big deal or not a big deal? Speaking of WWE, how about Gunther, the current Intercontinental Champion? He's on the verge of a major star. He had a great match Sunday night defending the Intercontinental title. He's got big plans moving forward WrestleMania 40.
At WrestleMania 40.
The main event.
That's the goal?
Prediction.
That's the prediction?
Yes.
Okay. Main event for the heavyweight title. The main belt.
That's something we shall see. If I don't plan on losing this one, and I want to make it the most important thing there is. So,
who's the opponent?
At that night?
Yeah.
I'll leave that up to everybody else to make their.
Do you have a wish?
No, I don't have a wish.
You don't care?
I don't care.
No dream opponent?
There are, but obviously in this company, there's so many great guys I would really like to get in the ring with. But whatever the challenge is, I'm gonna take on it head on and make the most out of that. So everything will come around at the end. Mm-hmm. Get in the ring with anybody if you're here long enough. So I take it as it comes.
I'm going big deal. Gunther's a big star. One of my favorites out there right now. He's got that 80s, 90s, heel look. He's obviously foreign. He's big. Nobody beats him. Like you would have totally seen him as an opponent for Hulk Hogan in the 80s, I'm a big fan of Gunther. I'll go big deal. Big deal or not a big deal? Another one WWE related. Yesterday, Bushwhacker Butch, R.I.P., rest in peace. One half of the Hall of Fame tag team, the Bushwhackers, Luke and Butch. Butch passed away yesterday. That's a big deal. Very sorry to hear that. Finally, big deal or not a big deal? So, I already told you, one of my unpopular opinions today was I'm not broken up about Jim Nance signing off the Final Four for the last time. If you didn't hear it, here's his sign-off.
One thing I learned through all of this is everybody has a dream and everybody has a story to tell. Just try to find that story. Be kind.
You told it better than most, let me tell you.
Can I tell you one other thing? I mean this, not to try to play off Hello Friends, but to you, everybody in the college game, on CBS Family, my family, all the viewers, thank you for being my friend.
Yeah, I gotta go not a big deal. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe I got black heart. I'm not broken up about Jim Nance leaving. It's not a big deal to me. And Iron Eagle's better. And it sounded like he was saying goodbye to the Golden Girls there. Thank you for being a friend. I'm going not a big deal. And that right there is another edition of Big Deal or Not a Big Deal, brought to us by Water Cleanup of Florida. Unexpected damage occurs in your home or your business. You need specialized, fast, and reliable services. You don't know if it's a big deal or not a big deal? Let Water Cleanup of Florida take care of you. 954-900-8635. That is a big deal. All right. Huge game tonight. Panthers. These are playoff games. You heard George there. These are essentially playoff games for the Panthers. We got the Can we get a Heat and a Panther win tonight to start off the show tomorrow on a Wednesday? You know what that's called, right? That's called double dip. Now, both lose. Everybody knows that's the double dick punch. We don't want that. Can we start the show tomorrow with the double dip? Hey, thanks everybody for listening to the show today. Thanks to everyone's hard work who helped put together the show today. Really great job by everybody involved. We'll talk to you on ZASLOW Show 2.0 tomorrow. You know what that means.